What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is healthy and well today. Welcome, all my new supporters. Today I bring to you, highly recommended. Now, this video was posted maybe about 2 weeks ago. Now, we literally had predictions a few months ago as to what the percentages would be as far as Canadians deciding not to travel to the United States. I'm going to take a wild guess and say, like 28% or above. That's what I'm gonna probably say. Now, last time we actually watched one of these videos, there was a surprising number of, or should I say a surprising percentage. There we go. Not number, percentage, because it was a percentage of Canadians actually still traveling to the US and still purchasing, alcohol and going on trips, staying at hotels, There are some Canadians still supporting. So let's jump right into this video and let's see if the numbers have updated anymore. If it was a drastic change, should I say, in like the span of what, like 2 months, maybe 3? I feel like I just made one of these videos on this. Today we'll be reacting to new research finds number of Canadians cutting travel to US higher than initially predicted. Initially predicted? That means it must be.
Canadians may be avoiding travel to the United States more than we first thought, according to some new interesting research. The measurements that are commonly used to show the decline do come from border crossings, where Statistics Canada shows a dip of about 25%. But some new research out of the University of Toronto looked at...
Wait, 25%? I was right there? See, my predicaments have been like very accurate since this all has started. I haven't been saying, no nonsense or nothing. My predicaments are like, I try to keep them accurate, Wow.
It was a dip of about 25%, but some new research out of the University of Toronto looked at Canadian cell phone activity in major U.S. cities. That told a different story, a median decline of 42%. The researchers are saying the new information reveals that
42%? Whoa.
Median decline of 42%. The researchers are saying the new information reveals that border data doesn't capture the full extent of the drop, as well as the fact that when Canadians are traveling south of the border, they're visiting fewer locations and or staying for less time. Karen Chappell is standing by. Karen was one of the researchers involved here. She's with the University of Toronto School of Cities, also a geography and planning professor. Thanks for taking the time. Much appreciated, Karen.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, so the takeaway here, 42%, much steeper than what we have been reporting here.
Sure.
Talk to us a little bit about the research, how you were able to determine this, sort of in layman's terms, if you can.
Yeah, it's a measure of Canadian activity in the U.S. So far, all we had seen from CBSA data was border crossings. But what we can do is look at what happens when Canadians go over the border and how many cities are they visiting? Are they maybe visiting fewer cities before, which is what we found? And are Canadians that were in the U.S., maybe for work, maybe for school, are they coming home? And that we've lost some Canadian cell phone pings throughout U.S. metros, we think in part because the Canadians there have left. So it's not just about the ones in Canada making fewer trips. It's about folks coming home, too.
Yeah, and how cell phone activity gives us a clearer picture of travel trends because we can sort of monitor it. Were you surprised, Karen, about the sharp decline?
We were surprised, yes, and then we started looking at where the drops were, and then it started to correlate with other things, economic factors. So, for instance, there's a big drop in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Who would have thought? We were very focused on the snowbirds not going to Florida and the tourists not going to Las Vegas, but it turns out that perhaps the tariffs and trade dips have had an impact as well, so that folks from the auto industry in Ontario are not going across to Michigan as much as they were.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. You mentioned cross-border, the kind of trips that you think Canadians are cutting back on the most, Karen.
Yeah, I think these are mostly economic related. So the trade ones are some of the ones we found, but I think what was most interesting was that the high tech and financial centers have also seen a drop. So, New York, San Francisco, Dallas, Houston. And these are places where, for instance, BMO, CIBC, they have TD, they have offices there. People were working part of the time in Canada, part of the time in US, and maybe they've cut back on those US trips. Another factor is conferences. People are cutting back on conference travel for work.
Do you think this signals kind of a long-term shift, potentially,
Yup.
Karen, in Canadian travel habits to the
Yup.
States?
Yup.
Well, we have to see. I mean,
Oh, everybody keeps saying that.
well, we have to see. I mean, it's a draw, and the ties are deep, and families are split between the two countries, right? So, but if we can shift a good portion of our economy back to Canada and do trade with China and Europe instead of the U.S., then absolutely, this is going to be a sea change.
She said shift. She said shift. Everybody shift. Most of the Canadians back to Canada. Wait a minute. The Canadians, majority of them leaving unless they really got to be here right now, you know. But not only are you getting your people back, man, you getting ours. They leaving. They been left. They gone. Yo, we are short-staffed. I've been talking to a few people lately, you know. Like RNs and stuff. Short-staffed. Short-staffed in a mug. I'm like, yo, they in the hospitals. Mind you, these people is working, you know, RNs and stuff. They work 12-hour shifts and stuff. Short staff. Ain't nobody around. You training people. You the only RN and you train. Like, it's so much. And it's like, man, this is crazy, bro. We're running out of doctors. We're running out of dentists. We're running out of mechanics. Lawyers. Tradesmen's, tradeswomen's. We're running out of it all, honestly. Safe to say, we don't really be having enough people even working 9-to-5 jobs out here. Like jobs, they be short staffed as well. I'm like, where are people getting their money from? People finding ways, you know. People finding other ways, you know. Creating businesses and stuff. But we are short staffed for everything is what I'm trying to say. We're short-staffed, man. We're short-staffed. And oh, I called it. Sooner or later, I feel like they're going to be just handing it out. Handing it out. Handing it out. Here you go. You want to become a doctor? You want to become a nurse? Like, just trying to... You got to be a passion with somebody. And I sure hope they don't just give out the opportunities. Here you go, because we need more people. Because it's going to get to a shortage where unless they pay foreigners or somebody to, that's being a hypocrite though. That's being a hypocrite. You go pay foreigners to come from other countries to come out here and to fill in our hospitals and stuff, right? Rather than giving Americans the jobs. Well, even though they leaving, so yeah. But you gonna let the foreigners in and work those career positions, right? Even though they're getting kicked out. You see how complicated everything gets? It's too much drama, man. Way too much toxicity. Oh my gosh. It don't make no sense. Hey, I was letting her talk too, you know. I was letting her talk because I really like what she was saying. I did. You know. She's making a good point. I don't think we'll ever recover though. I think this is a permanent. You know, what's said can't be undone. And the way I work as a human being, you know, if somebody did such things to me and then they try to apologize, in the back of my head, it's like, okay, I forgive you. I accept it, but I'm not going to forget it, nor do I need to accept you coming back around me, you know? You can stay away now, you know? Like, I'm going to have it in the back of my mind the whole time. Like, yeah, don't trust these people. It's not going to sit right with me. So how do you think it's going to work out vice versa for you guys? It's not going to work. There's no way we'll be able to regain and become friends again and have that same loving relationship we did before. The damage is done in the true feelings. The true feelings have shown, you know, have been shown on both sides. We've seen the President of the United States and we've seen the Prime Minister of Canada, Prime Minister Mark Carney, both at their worst, well, at their highest and lowest. at their highest and lowest. And in the beginning, the U.S. was, oh, Canada needs us. What are you going to do without us? How will they ever survive? Canada will not last without us. So many things that, the leaders of the United States was saying, representatives. And I'm like, this is so crazy and hurtful. But yet again, you guys are like low key begging for a relationship back, for trading. You want them to support our businesses and the things that we got going on and the things we're selling off the shelves. But we're not going to do the same back? You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of things just ain't adding up, making too much sense at all. So will it ever go back to normal? No. Too much lying, too much manipulating. The disrespect. I mean, the disrespect. How? They just shown so much disrespect towards Canada. How will it ever gain that respect back? You ever just violate somebody so bad, or you disrespected them so bad, it's almost like, wow, like I don't think I could ever make that up. You ever feel that way before? Like, I don't think I could ever make that up, or wow. Or they're gonna forever look at me differently. Like, you ever just spaz out, flip out on somebody? That's exactly how it is, man. True colors were shown here. True colors were shown. What was done in the dark came to the light. Mark Carney, he obviously was able to, figure out, wait a minute. So this whole time we ain't been sitting at the table with the US and other countries. We've been on the menu. But you see how Canada has been getting, I didn't even make a video on it yet, but I think I am going to now, how Europe has invited Canada to a meeting, The only country not in Europe, the only country that's not in Europe that got invited. That's how genuine and cool Carney is, Mark Carney. You see what I'm saying? So we see the growth. I see the expectations being met and everything for Canada. Now it's scary for the U.S. because in the beginning, a lot of people had high hopes. Even people that wasn't following what was going on, they had mad high hopes. Now you're struggling. Some of those people are unemployed. Please share your honest thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, man. This is a great video. This is a great topic. I really do like what she was saying, how she was breaking it down. Please let me know in the comments. Do you feel that over the time things will progress? Maybe we'll work on things little by little, come to a resolution on certain things that we are doing or want to agree on. And if we don't have any agreements, rather than arguing and bickering and debating and beefing about it, let's move our separate ways to another country for that specific need, for that specific want that we want to have a deal with. Not, oh, we don't need you no more, bye, let's go to this country, because they're not going to offer you the same thing either. They're not going to offer you everything either. It'll never work that way. For a second, I thought my camera died, and I almost lost my mind. I was looking at the thing, and I'm like, why the charger port look like it's not all the way in? I almost lost my mind, but I thought the camera died on me and everything. I'm like, man. Oh my gosh, man. That happened to me one time. Out of all of this, I lost one video, guys, before. And it tore me apart. I couldn't even remake the video. It was such a good video, I couldn't even make it. Because it would have been fake. Man, it tore me apart. Please share your honest thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Share your honest predictions. 25%. I literally called close to that. So now I'm going to predict. Oh, it's actually like 40-something%. It's actually about 45. It's up there. I'm going to say 50%. The next time we see one of these videos should be like maybe 5 months or maybe more down the line. And it'll probably be at about 50%. Because before, 60% of Canadians was still coming to the U.S. Even though it seemed like everybody wasn't in everything. No. Now it's vice versa, man. It's literally almost like 60% is not coming to the US. And 40% not even is coming, Sooner or later, guys, the way I see it, I feel like everybody will eventually catch on. There's still people who got to take care of their families. Who still got to travel back and forth for their job, their career. There's people who are here for school. There's people who got to commute for work, anything. Not saying they live here, but just anything. It gives people a reason to have no choice to come to the U.S. because strictly based on, life circumstances and things they are going through, things they need to take care of, If you didn't need to take care of it, you probably could make a change and go to Canada or this or that. But, people could definitely change their jobs and move to Canada. And it's a lot, though. It's a lot, though. You can't just get a new job, a new career job in a whole nother country. Set this up, set that up, and have this ready. Have a home waiting for you. And that's a lot. It really takes time, about a year of really planning and learning the system of Canada. Learning the system of Canada. And I feel like that's good for everyone. That way you know what you're getting yourself into. If you're going to move out of the United States, do not start the same ignorant path and come into another country uneducated. Educate yourself and learn. Learn about what's going on. You see what I'm saying? That way you as well could get the best of the benefits and perks that come with moving to that country. Transitioning over, because we know it's not easy. It's not. It's not easy, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do, out of self-respect for yourself, out of morals, you got to do what you got to do. You got to stand on something in this world. If you ain't standing on nothing, you must be, I don't know. I'm not even going to say, I was going to say, but I don't want to call nobody well, it was nothing offensive, but if you ain't standing on nothing, then what you got to prove? What are you standing on? What keeps you driving in life? Like keeps you driving in life? What keeps you motivated? I just feel like the U.S. should have used more of that motivation, more of that, what's the word? What's the word? I don't want to say fiending. There should be other words. I guess we'll say, I guess we could say that. But the way the U.S. was fiending, we want this from Canada. We need this. Why are you doing that? Stop this and fix this. We could have did it in such a polite way. And everything would have been perfectly fine. And what I've been learning about just life in this situation, bro, you can't just talk to nobody how you want. Ain't nothing about to get done. Matter of fact, you gonna turn the people away, turn them off, and it'll be like, you know what I'm saying? Now they really gonna be rebellious. And that's exactly what happened. Canada turned away. We done scared them away because y'all was being mad over passionate towards a lot of things with no good intentions. I could understand if you're over passionate about something and it was nothing but good intentions, but you may have came off a little rude or this or that. But this was strictly just evilness, straight up nothing but pure negative intentions on their behalf. And I'm keeping it a buck. 51st state, bro? That's the end of conversation. What are you talking? That's the end of conversation, bro. That's wild, for real, for real. Feel free to comment, subscribe, turn all post notifications on, share your honest thoughts and opinions in the comment section. I'm sorry to go on a little rant. I just had a lot on my mind. I just wanted to include onto what she was saying. I really enjoyed what she was talking about. And please, feel free to follow my Kick for the live streams down below in the description. And subscribe to all my other YouTube channels as well in the description. I love you all so much. Stay safe, man. And I hope to catch you all in the next reaction video. What are your predictions? Please, what are your predictions? This video that got me worked up. I'm all hot. I feel dehydrated. I need some water. Please let me know your predictions, seriously, because it's these type of videos that really get me there. And I feel like so far, every single prediction I have made has been accurate. I'm calling the future. Literally, every single prediction I have made has been accurate. And it don't make no sense, man. And if not, it's been getting worse and worse. So not only are my accusations, not only are they accurate, or should I say close, but it's every time we watch these videos, it exceeds what we were expecting or predicting. It's even worse. And it'll never get better. That's what I'm saying. You can have faith in this world and hope, except for when it comes to this relationship between the U.S. and Canada. You wanna know why? Because it's not in our hands. You think it's in Strac's hands, bro? If it was, I don't want to break the headset. I just bought it. I just bought that one. But if it was in my hands, don't you think everything would be perfectly fine? Don't you think everything would be fine? That's what I'm saying, bro. But no, it's in somebody else's hands, so I ain't got no control. So therefore, cooked. I'll catch you all in the next reaction video. I love you all. I'm sorry for getting worked up. I'm sorry for going on a rant. I really do enjoy making reaction videos. I love y'all for real. I love making videos. We be getting worked up. Please flood my comment section with more videos for us to react to. Stay safe.